Welcome, CTFSN families and friends. We are glad you could join us tonight. My name is Lena Esposito. I'm the CTFSN Bilingual Family Coordinator for the South Central region. This evening, we'll be presenting the 2026 CTFSN South Central Summer Camps Workshop for Children with Special Needs. Please note that this is a presentation that is a sample of summer camps. We are joined by 4 organizations that will give a brief presentation about the summer programs that they offer. These organizations are Affinity Sports, Autismo Health and Fitness Center, Social Savvy, and the YMCA of Merida. Then let's begin with Affinity Sports. I would like to introduce Mark Kilpatrick, co-founder and CEO. Mark, it's a pleasure to have you with us, and then the floor is yours.
Great, thank you. I just sent a request to share my screen, if possible.
Sure.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Please let me know if you can see this.
Yes, I can see it.
All right, everybody else is good? All right, well, thank you everybody for having me. Lena, I really appreciate it. And it's been really exciting actually being able to connect and understand that this network is out there and all the work that you guys are doing across Connecticut. As soon as I got the call, it's a direct alignment with what we're doing. So the first thing I like to do is kind of start with a very quick background because we don't have an activity that is really known to a lot of people. So I like to ground people in what it is that we do. So the first thing that I always ask is what are esports? And esports, the definition is simple. It's electronic sports. It's competitive, organized video games. And the reality is that no matter what population or group I'm speaking to, I always lose people at video games. And so I like to be able to like really bring things down into perspective for them. And so the first slide that I'm showing you here is at the professional level, there is a whole electronic sports scene. There are professional players, there are major trophies, it's entertainment, there's people that are watching it. And so there's a whole industry around esports, and we run esports programming. So this gives you a sense of the scale and the size of the lighting and the stadiums and the fact that people around the world are tuning into this industry. People are paying attention. But the cool thing is that esports, just like sports, also has a grassroots and community level effort. And so that's what we do, and that's where we come in. And these are some of the photos from our original camps when we launched in 2023. And so just like traditional sports or dance or music or theater, there has to be a grassroots community level engagement to make gaming and esports more attractive, more valuable, and more connected to helping kids and families develop and leverage this as a tool for good. And the games that are played are games that you're probably hearing in your home or you've come across things like Mario Kart, Mario's Super Smash Bros, FIFA and Madden and Rocket League. We look at these games like traditional sports. Each one of them is its own kind of unique focus and has its unique background. So we really were founded in 2021 on the basis of healthier, happier gaming and creating spaces that increased awareness, acceptance, and access across Connecticut state. And that is really what sets us apart, is that we really are about Connecticut state and the gaming and esports growth here. And we're about empowerment. We've watched kids and parents talk about how they found their place in our spaces, a third space, if you will. College students who've decided on a career path and have gone down the road of studying in this field. Kids that have won championships that maybe have never been a part of a sports team or had the opportunity to hold a jersey. We've watched girls and women throughout our few years in operation and within the industry shatter barriers. And we've been able to watch school districts as a really interesting kind of focus on this industry start to absorb and start to take on esports. Notably, Milford School District, which is relevant to this region, that's me in the bottom left speaking with the superintendent in front of Foreign and Law High School, and we got to play a part and be a support in their securing $1 million to build these programs out. So I'm going to skip forward a little bit. We've been growing these programs over the last 4 years. We now have 3 locations in Milford, what we're here to talk about today, Newtown and Wilton. And we really have 3 core competencies in terms of our camps and all of our programs. We have game creation and coding. We have content creation, production, and broadcast. And then we have casual and competitive gameplay. So we're looking holistically at the gaming industry and the esports industry, and putting out programming and camps that are well-rounded and focused on giving kids and parents a really well-rounded experience. There's a whole industry, as I said. So at the university level, there are degree programs. I'm sitting in the room right now with somebody behind the camera who has a master's degree in gaming and esports management from Post University. So sending your kids to a camp in the space can be a way to help them find purpose, can surround them with like-minded kids, can give them confidence and empower them. But there also are opportunities for careers in the space and opportunities to push it further. This graphic just gives you an idea of the job opportunities down the road. So I want to jump in really quickly and talk about our camps. We've been running camps since we were launched in 2022. This is the 2025 was the end of our 3rd year, and we've grown to 307 campers, and we hosted 38 full day, full week summer camps last summer. The cost of our camps are $400 with a camper to staff ratio of 10-1. And for this network, we're going to be offering $100 off all of those camps. You'll see later that I mentioned that if additional financial support is needed, you can reach out directly to me. We'll work with families on a one-to-one basis, but there are other opportunities. We do also provide before and after options to support families that need extra time. That includes early drop off between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. and then pick up at or before 6 p.m. There is an added cost to that, but it is an option and something we do to support parents that need that flexibility. Transportation. This was noted. Transportation is to our facility in Milford at 125 Old Gate Lane. It is the responsibility of the parents. Pickup and drop off happens at the same location. And then in terms of food and allergy information, we don't provide food. Campers pack their own lunch. We are a peanut-free facility and camp. And then any other allergy information or special requests can be made ahead of camp to our camp director, so we can make sure we can plan and work with families accordingly. I'm just going to put this up for a moment. Our camps cover June, July, and August, and we will run 10 full weeks of camp. A couple of the weeks you will notice we're doubled up. These are everything from, and they fall into our core competencies, game creation and coding, content creation, and competitive and casual gameplay. So we have a good range of camps that fall into those categories. In terms of registering, again, I've put the information here. I've put it in the email, affinityesports.gg/camps, and you have the code here that can take $100 off of each of the camps. Reach out to me if you need additional financial assistance. And this just gives you a little snapshot of some of our happy campers out in Newtown, Connecticut, our longest standing location. And just so you get a sense of the fact that we do take kids off the screens, we do balance our camps, we make sure they're getting outdoors as well. So happy to take some questions. Sorry if I ran over a little bit, and I'll leave the floor open.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for the presentation. Can you please feel free to add in the chat your name, the name of the organization, and then your contact number. If anyone has a questions in the meanwhile, oh yeah, we have a question. What are the age ranges, the age of the children and the radio for boys and girls?
Good question. So yeah, we are, sorry, where did the question go? I've lost it.
What are the ages and the radio for boys and girls?
Got it. Yeah. So age range, we keep wide. It's 7 to 17. Because we've kept that wide to make sure that we can generally fill numbers. I will say we do not get a lot of later age teens. And again, every family is different and every scenario is different. Um, but I would say our sweet spot is typically 7 at the low end to 13. And depending on the camp, some of our camps that are a little more college prep focused or about a specific skill that teens are interested in, we will see a number of 13 to 17-year-olds coming in. As you can see from the photo, um, I'm a girl dad. We have a big focus on girls and women in technology. So this picture gives you kind of a sense of what our ratios are. I think we have a total of through looks like 4 or 5 girls to probably 15 or so boys. That tends to be where we're at on our ratio. That's something we're working to fix, and we're working at it every single day to create more opportunities for girls in gaming. And we're making headway. So we want more girls and we want the boys too.
Wonderful. Then we have another question. What is the code for the $100?
Yeah, so the code is right here. And it will again be in this what's distributed, but it's 26 CTFSN SC. I don't know why I did that. I was just playing off of your acronym, and that's what it landed at, and that will work if you register for camps.
Whatever works, that's good. Let me see. Are there any camps for 18 years old?
There are not any camps for 18 and above, but we do young adult programming and we do have a deep connection with the Department of Mental Health, Young Adult Services. So we served over 200 young adults this year in various types of programming. So there's a lot of opportunities to that end with Affinity Esports.
Thank you. What are the platforms that you use? Hold on. This one is blocking me.
Yeah, PC. Yeah, so
Platform you teach, the PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch Mobile.
yeah, great question. We heavily lean towards PC and building computer skills with our youth campers. But we do have consoles, so we do have Xboxes and Switches as well. So we do a number of things with those throughout our camps. We aren't currently doing anything with mobile, but we are looking at Clash Royale, and with a lot of things moving towards mobile, we're looking at how we can leverage that going forward and support families and kids because it's so accessible and everybody has a
Yeah,
mobile device.
sure. Do you take special needs kids from the camps? What is the ratio?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have an exact ratio, but what I will tell you is as parents come in and they speak to us across all of our programs, gaming and esports might be the most inclusive activity or one of them that's out there. I don't want to definitely put down any other amazing camps and activities that are here, but it is a really, really amazing way to include. In terms of special needs, absolutely. I would say in terms of neurodiversity, about 50% of our families that come in do disclose and do talk to us about either the accommodations or the special needs that their kids have, and we're able to work with that. And it's a great community and great environment for kids of all different backgrounds and needs.
Thank you. Do you guys accepting another type of financial assistance such as care for kids?
That's not something I'm familiar with, but we're open to exploring all sorts of, we've had various external scholarships and financial aid that have come in for families for our camp. So we're happy to talk to anybody about that and see how we can accommodate and work with those providers.
To be in the summer, must they have one-to-one approved
One
in
to
the
one.
summer? Hmm.
I'm not sure exactly how to answer that. We do have a number of campers who come in with one-to-one assistance and aides. That is completely okay. I don't know if that answers your question, but we generally just have that disclosed. We note it as the campers are coming in, and we work with our camp directors at our various locations to set that up.
Okay, hold on. Are there staff training to support special needs kids, or how does the camp support them?
Yeah, so we're expanding our training every year. Currently, we have a standardized training for working with kids on the autism spectrum. And we had a wonderful support system and head of program development who developed that training, who has a child who is on the autism spectrum and has built that out for us. We're going to continue to work on and expand the trainings that will support more kids with various types of special needs. So the short answer is yes. We're constantly absorbing more information and adding to trainings ahead of each summer camp year.
Okay. Okay, we had to move it because I say exactly, and with format moving forwards, competitive mobile gaming, how do you teach kids?
Exactly. And
Format.
with Fortnite moving towards competitive mobile gaming. Um, we do have a Fortnite camp. We are leveraging mostly PC games. So again, not moving towards mobile on our end with Fortnite, but we are keeping that PC based at the moment. But again, as more mobile programs and companies move towards mobile, as they are in some regions in the world, we'll continue to include that in our programming.
Okay. The 400 is per week.
400 is per
That's
week. Yep.
okay, perfect.
So it'd be
Then we
300
have,
for this group, just to be clear.
thank you so much. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for to answer these questions and to be here.
Absolutely.
We are going to continue with the Autism Health and Fitness Center.
Thanks for having me.
Then, oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Valerie.
Great, thank you. So hello, everyone. I'm Valerie Ryer. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the Kennedy Collective, and we have recently acquired the Autism Health and Fitness Center. It was gifted to us back in August. The Autism Health and Fitness Center has been operating since 2014 by a family that started it to ensure that persons who are neurodiverse have the availability to have good fitness options available to them. And they have passed on that legacy to the Kennedy Collective, and we are continuing their initiatives. With the Kennedy Collective, one of the nice things, and sorry, I went a little too fast already. One of the nice things that partnership has aligned is that we, as an organization, have served individuals with disabilities for over 75 years. And so we're bringing to the table a multitude of resources that also includes offering behavioral supports and consultation, resources should someone need transition services down the line. So any of those linkages, it's not just necessarily that someone is coming here and accessing fitness services. They're also having that availability to talk with us about um, other things that are happening in their lives and how we can make those connections. Each summer, the Autism Health and Fitness has offered a camp program. We do have certified teachers, special ed teachers that are running our camp. We start prior to the extended school year engaging, and then we also resume that again at the end of the summer. So you'll see that we break up our sessions that occurs in June, and then we stop in July. We're still in the process of looking at, based on what some of the need requests are, that we may also offer other options come July that may be some partial week offerings. We're still playing around with that to see, because this is relatively new for us in these offerings. But we want to open up and expand out what we can do for what our families' needs are. Um, the registration that we do for each week is $350 a session for our members, and then it would be $400 for non-members. The sessions, if there's a shortened session, we'll do it based on the day rate. We would ask for registration to be made in advance. And so we would set out that registration come the end of April, have families register. and look for it to be squared away by June 5th so we can do all of the planning out and set up our teams and ratios and all of that is needed in order to have an enriching experience. This is the schedule of what our end of summer sessions would include. Not every session needs to be registered for. So families have asked, based on the school schedule, some schools end later than other schools. And depending on the snow and what impact it has, we may also have to adjust when a session starts, because if a school is extending out, we do need to be aware of when the teachers will be available. We run our programs from 9 to 12, a shortened day, because we also do active programming in the afternoon for personal training. Our afternoons do have other activities that are available. We'll also be looking to share other events through classes and clubs and programs that get individuals out and about, whether it's through individualized personal training or through the camp experiences. Again, we have registration deadlines that we would be seeking to have our members sign up for. That way we can do correct planning and set up the ratios that we would need in order to best serve our individuals. Our staffing composition, it fluctuates based on what the enrollment is. We always have our lead instructor, which encompasses our special education professionals. Our team of professionals does include special education teachers, speech pathologists, as well as physical therapy assistants and behavior technicians. The composition of that will vary based on what the needs of our campers are. From a ratio standpoint, our ratios will be anywhere from a 8-to-1 to a 6-to-1 to a 3-to-1. So we balance that out. Anyone who needs 1-to-1 services, we would sit and meet with them, and there may be an extra charge that will go along with those services. We also allow for any member that does need a 1-to-1, and if they have one in their life, they can bring that person along with them. We do serve campers ages 5 through young adults. We will look at, I saw a question in there in relationship to the age range. And so those that are still attending school, we would still serve them up through ages of 22. As long as we feel that we can provide a meaningful and an engaging experience, and that would be through the conversations that we have upon our camp intake. We do want our campers to be able to independently use the bathroom and to feed themselves with minimal support and supervision versus having to have hand-over-hand assistance. If that is something that somebody needs, we would need to have discussions regarding that further in order to look at what the staffing needs are around that. We do not provide transportation, but we do have a single location that the campers are coming to. We make sure when they're being dropped off, we record who is dropping them off. We get the approval of who will then be picking them up. We monitor who is coming here. We lock the doors so that we restrict who is coming in and out of the building at all times. And if you would like more information, you can reach out to me directly. We are continuing to formulate new ideas and concepts so that we can be as responsive to what our campers and members' needs are. As we talk with families and learn about some of the gaps, that is something that we're using to help formulate new experiences. We want each of our members to have a healthy and lively and engaging experience and feel safe at all times. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Valerie. Can you please put your information in the chat with your name, the organization, and the number?
Absolutely.
Then in the meanwhile, if anyone has a question, please, you can put it in the chat or feel free to unmute yourselves and ask the question. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. I heard you have programs to help the students learn to drive.
We do not have programs to teach students to learn how to drive. However, we do have programs that teach individuals how to use the public transit system. However, we can sit down with anyone and talk about other programs that are out there that focus on doing assessments. They do the assessments in order to evaluate spatial capabilities in order to prepare for driving evaluations. And I do know that there's other specialized training schools that have been focusing on preparing individuals with special learning needs on how to drive and how to pass the test in order for them to be successfully getting a driver's license. So more than happy to sit down and connect you with our mobility services department.
Thank you, Valerie. It's another question. What are the typical enrollment?
Our numbers are on the smaller side, so we keep our area around to around 25 individuals, so that we can ensure that each of the groups have space for them to be free to engage with themselves. We break them out into groups, so they each have a lead person, and then they have other friends. We do utilize volunteers and interns to also create an engaging social experience, and we have found that to be extraordinarily positive. And it's a mutually beneficial experience with the individual as well as the interns. Also, then when individuals are having a moment that they need some of their own time to themselves, we have support staff that then can go with them and allow them to have that little free time if they're not able to stay engaged with what the camp activity is.
Yeah, then we have a comment in the chat. It say, thank you for the information. It's really helpful about the drive-in piece. I know it's unrelated, but you can share the mobility information. That would be helpful. If you want me, Valerie, feel free, to send me the information. Then I will feel more than happy to share, with anyone,
Sure.
Yes, because I know. Let me see if we have more questions for Valerie. Valerie, did you put your information in the chat?
I am. Yeah, that's why I'm like typing right now. I'm trying to multitask.
Okay.
It's getting harder and harder as I get older.
I catch you there. Valerie, thank you so much to come in, and do the beautiful presentation. Then the next organization that we have is Social Savvy. It's presented by Lorraine Ferrate, and she's the executive director. Lorraine, it's a pleasure to have you here, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, let me put you as a co-host.
Okay.
Oh, you got it right there. There we go.
Okay, great. Thank you to Lena for having us. We're really excited to share more about our organization, and a thank you to the Connecticut Family Support Network as well. For those of you who are new to Social Savvy, Our tagline is teaching children with autism to be socially savvy. I'm going to give just a really brief overview so that you can learn a little bit more about us. So our mission is to provide adaptive recreational programming that fosters confidence, friendship, and essential life skills for the neurodivergent youth in Meriden and beyond. In addition to our summer camp program that I'm going to go into more detail about today, we also offer day camps, social groups, life skills workshops, and seasonal sports leagues, in addition to one-to-one mentoring services. So we are a husband and wife team. My husband, Kevin Frederick, established the organization in 2010. He's a Meriden native who currently leads the CCC prep program at Maloney High School for 18 to 22-year-old students as a special education teacher. He has over 20 years of experience working with this population, and he's taught at both the elementary, middle, and high school setting, in addition to starting his career as a mentor through the Ben Haven organization, and he also currently offers one-to-one mentoring services through our Social Savvy. We officially became a nonprofit in August of 2019. And a little bit about our programs. They're all designed to be inclusive and adaptive. All activities are focused on fostering social skills while supporting child development. We are official service providers for the Connecticut Department of Children and Families, the Connecticut Department of Developmental Disabilities, and also the Meriden Board of Education. We've recently partnered with Choate Rosemary Hall in Wallingford for an adaptive ice skating program and an adaptive swimming program. And we've been a longtime partner with the Meriden Parks and Recreation for our seasonal kickball league, which is a lot of fun. We currently serve over 100 families in the greater Meriden community. A little bit about our team. So all of our staff are current employees of the Meriden District. So they are either a special education teacher, a behavioral technician, or a paraprofessional. So as I mentioned, Kevin and myself are the organization owners. We are also certified camp directors with the Connecticut Office of Early Childhood, and we serve respectively as president and vice president on our executive board. You'll see a photo to the right of some campers enjoying swimming at the Maloney Indoor Pool. Anytime any of our programs include swimming, which most of them do, including our summer camp, we have certified lifeguards on staff to ensure safety. Obviously, that's our number one priority. Something I want to mention that I think really sets our organization apart are our mentors. So we leverage support from peer mentors for all of our programs and activities, and we pair similar age mentors with participants as a buddy. And we've really seen that that helps to not only build confidence, but develop friendships, which is something that's so important for youth in building confidence and also having the opportunity to work on social skills with a peer. So just some quick few highlights about our organization over the last 2 years. We've serviced over 600 youth. When you layer in those peer mentors, it's actually over 700 youth in our extended community. And as a result of funding that we've received and being able to offer discounted rates, we've welcomed 100 new families to our organization in just these last 2 years. And then also through funding received, we've been able to offer new programs, which is great because we're able to offer more resources to local families. So more about our summer camp program. All of our summer camps are hosted at Maloney High School. You'll see a photo here of our camp that we actually just hosted on Martin Luther King this year at Maloney High School in Meriden. We accept campers grades K through 12, and then also those enrolled in post-secondary education, so typically those up until 22 years old. Campers are grouped by age, and then they're placed into 3 groups, so either an elementary, middle, or high school group. And our typical capacity for any given camp week is 40 campers, and each group would typically have between 10 and 15 participants. And then we allocate peer mentors based on those camper signups. And we typically would have about 5 similar age peer mentors in each age group, in addition to high school helpers, in addition to our adult staff. So our staff to camper ratio is usually about 1 to 5 versus state limits of 1 to 9 for ages under 6 and 1 to 12 for ages 6 to 15. The Meriden Board of Education provides a complimentary hot lunch every day, with the exception of holidays when we are in operation. And we provide the menu in advance for family planning. And we do our best to accommodate if there's a special dietary need, but because the Meriden District is the one offering the lunch, we sometimes can't always accommodate. If that's the case, we of course would communicate that in advance. And if your child has a food allergy, we would also collect this information at the time of registration, which will actually be opening up soon on our website for our summer camp program. And unfortunately, we do not currently offer transportation services, but we are aware of some local third-party services that might be available if that's something that you're interested in or you're in need of. Here's our program calendar for the year. You'll see on the bottom, it lists out our 4 weeks of summer camp that we're currently offering. So we operate around the Meriden district schedule since we do operate out of Maloney High School in Meriden. And our first 2 weeks of camp happen in mid-June, beginning on June 15th to the 19th. And then the following week, the 22nd to the 26th, our day runs from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then we take the month of July off because we know that a lot of campers will participate in a local ESY program. And so then we come back in August, those first 2 weeks to host our final 2 weeks of summer camp. Again, the day runs 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then you'll see listed above a few of our other programs that we're offering. We just had a camp last month, or I'm sorry, this last Monday for Martin Luther King. Next month for President's Day weekend, we're hosting a 2-day camp. We're hosting social groups in the evenings on Thursdays in March. It's a 3-hour block where children have the opportunity to be social, prepare a meal, eat dinner together, and then many times go swimming at the end of the session. We have a week-long camp in April for spring break. And then in May, my personal favorite is our kickball league. It's a lot of fun. It's for grades 3+, and that happens at the Dunn Sports Complex. In terms of cost, the retail value of each weekly session is $350. However, I think it's really important to note that for the last 4 years, we've been able to offer a 50% reduced discount for families paying directly. So that would be $175 for the full week of camp. And that's a result of some of the funding that you'll see mentioned above. So we host fundraisers, we apply to local foundations for grant funding. We also receive donations from local businesses and from local families that want to, believe in our mission and want to support our organization. And so that's obviously a huge benefit for our program and the families that we serve. It's also important to note that we participate with DDS for their family grant program. So many families are able to receive 100% coverage for the registration fee through that summer camp program. Here, we just listed some of our partners. We think it's important to note who we're working with in the community, including local schools, Choate Rosemary Hall, which is very well known. We're had a lot of success. We just launched an adaptive ice skating program with them this winter. Last year, we did 2 sessions of an adaptive swimming program, which was great. We do fundraising with the local Meriden Rotary Club. We were a recipient from the city of Meriden for a large grant that sustained our organization for 2 years. Of course, Maloney High School, where we operate out of, Meriden Board of Education. We actually created a custom ESY program in summer of 2023 for some of the local children in the district. We've been partners with Meriden Parks and Rec for our kickball league. And then we also host bi-monthly free playtime sessions at the Meriden Library. And that's an opportunity for children to come listen to a story, participate in a craft activity, and then have some group playtime. As I mentioned before, we provide one-to-one mentoring services through DCF, and then the family grant program I did mention for the Department of Developmental Disabilities. And just to quickly share our day schedule, I should have included that here in the presentation. It's very varied. We actually take into account the interests of each specific child that's registering. We ask for kind of their favorite activities, and we try to integrate that into the calendar and the schedule to make sure that we're appealing to everyone's personal and unique interests. And we do things like group games in the gym. We're very lucky to operate out of Maloney. They have a wonderful facility, 2 indoor gymnasiums, classrooms, library, computer lab, outdoor fields, indoor pool, and we really utilize the full gamut of what's available during our day. So for example, this last camp on Monday, they participated in a holiday-themed arts and craft project. We had a no-tech zone where they got to play old school board games and card games, and then we had a game room in the library where they had video games and a variety of activities that they can participate in with friends. And then we included a photo here of a family we've actually worked with for a really long time, and a little review of from their mom, Lauren. These 2 boys are twins. They joined us when they were 4 years old, and they actually just participated in our camp this week, and they're now 17. And they went from, very shy young boys to now people, that stop me and ask me about my children. And it's just very fulfilling to see the impact that our organization has had on the children that we work and the children we work with, and of course, the extended families. And so I just want to thank everyone for your time. If you have any questions, here's my contact information. Again, my name is Lorraine Frederick. I encourage you to check out our website and also our social pages if you're on Facebook and Instagram to see more of what we're up to.
Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you for your presentation. When you can you please add your information in the chat?
Sure.
And then I have a question. Is your camp limited to kids with autism, or can children with
That's
other
a great question.
diagnoses?
So I would say the largest population of children we work with are on the autism spectrum. However, we are an inclusive organization, and so we work with a variety of children with a variety of diagnosis and ability levels.
Okay, we have another question in the chat. How do you help kids with swimming?
Depending on their ability level, we can pair them with either a peer mentor or an adult staff member. Just on Monday, we had a child that needed extra support, so we had one of our adult staff members in the pool with them. And then for children that are stronger swimmers, and of course, it's a large in-ground indoor pool. There is a deep end and a shallow end. We tend to keep the younger children in the shallow end unless they are able to pass a swimming test that's facilitated by the lifeguard.
Then we have another question in the chat. Will we get the slides from each presentation? Yes, everybody is going to have all the slides, and then I'm going to send them by email. Now we have another question. When do you sign ups start for summer camps? When is going to start the summer camp?
We're actually in the process of just finalizing that now, but it should be live on our website next month. And then we always will advertise on our social pages, kind of announcing that registration is now open for summer camp. So typically that'll happen sometime in February.
Okay. Then you guys have any programs for 4 years old?
Are they already in kindergarten?
Good question. Let me ask Tammy, can you pre-K? No, pre-K.
Pre-K, there have been occasions where we have welcomed children that are 4 and in pre-K. And typically something that I didn't mention is anytime a new family is introduced to us and are interested in having their child participate in a program, we actually perform a one-to-one Zoom meeting with the child and the family member. And that gives us an opportunity to, start to form a relationship, be a familiar face so that when the child comes to the program, it's like a new environment. It can sometimes be overwhelming. They have a familiar face to recognize. And then also it gives us the chance to perform like a very informal evaluation so we can gauge what support level, your child may need. In many cases, we might have a one-to-one for the participant, or if that's not needed, it just allows us the opportunity to kind of plan accordingly and to make sure that we're prepared to support your child according to their needs.
Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you for the presentation. And then when you have a chance, yes, please put information in the chat. And now
Wonderful.
we are moving to the last but not the least presentation that we have with the YMCA. Then Pamela, do you want me to share, my screen for you to do your presentation?
Yes, for the slide, absolutely, if you don't mind.
Sure, and then let me share my screen.
And I apologize in advance. I just got tooth work done. I have to get a root canal, so if I sound a little weird, that's because why.
Oh,
That's okay.
okay.
I'm fine.
Perfect.
So this is Mountain Mist. I have been going here since I've been 8 years old. Wonderful camp. A lot of good memories, and now we have adapted to an adaptive camp program. It is amazing. And what is adaptive camp? So adaptive camp at Mountain Mist is a program designed specifically for, again, my mouth, for campers with developmental disabilities and have an active IEP and 504 plans. Depending on the RIPs and the 504s, determine if the camper will be a one-on-one. So if a camper needs a one-on-one, they will have a one-on-one completely. No camper is any means discouraged by trying new things. We want them to try cooking camp. We want them to try to have art camp. We want them to try to have fort building. We want sports camp, everything. We want them to go out into their other realm, in a way to speak, where kind of engage into things that they're kind of uncertain, but maybe they're gonna like it. We have scavenger hunts. We do Where in the World is Carmen San Diego Potato, which was an amazing hit. So we made potatoes, and all the kids made the potatoes, made it, and then put a wanted sign, put the potatoes all around camp, and they had to go out and look for them. And the reward was like, like we'll say like $5,000, but really, obviously, who has $5,000 to give to a kid? No one. But they are super engaged. We have quiet time. We have space. We have engagement. We have needs, like if they want to go for a walk, if they want to go to the pool. And the Y is so accommodating to the campers of like if they want an extra pool time and they did okay, it's kind of like a point sheet. So if you did okay and you did really well this day and okay that day and really, really well that day, and then we're like, oh, you know what? You get extra pool time. And the lifeguards are so accommodating that they will give the kids extra pool time, because we all know that kids with, autism, they do like the water, and it's hot. And when it's hot, they don't like to be sweaty and sticky. But also, if they don't want to go in the pool, we do have cabins that has AC in it. And then they can eat lunch in there. During lunchtime, we can put a movie on for them, and they can relax for like 45 minutes. And then we go back out, and then we start engaging in activities. And also, social savvy is amazing because a lot of the people from there and the campers there are all at Maloney. They're like kind of like intertwined into, well, they're not intertwined. They are like within Meriden. And then you have like, they're like, oh, that's Mr. F. Oh, that's Mr. C. Oh, and we all work together. So then when we see them in the school year, they're like, oh, hey, oh, this. And we are so much like involved, and it's just a traditional camp with a little flair because we have an adaptive camp now. So it's amazing. So how is your child going to get to camp? Depending on the services, again, I apologize about my mouth. Depending on the services that they have, you can do parent drop off, parent pickup. They have bus transportation that is included in the transportation when you sign your camper up. So they have stops at Stop and Shop. They have stops at schools, and it's like kind of like your traditional like old school bus stop kind of thing. And we sign them in, we sign them out. The only thing is for adaptive camp, we do not offer morning care or aftercare for camp for adaptive. Only certain things, like with one camper who has diabetes and he needs to be there because mom can't pick him up, but only like certain things. All of our staff is medically certified as far as DCF mandated reporters. We are med certified to administer medications, EpiPens, CPR. They all can go into the pool whenever they want to, on a basis of when it's allowable, because sometimes the pool is like really, really full. But then we also have arts and crafts, and they leave for the morning at 9 o'clock. About 9:15. They come back right before lunch starts. So they leave campus and we allow adaptive kids to go. They can do whatever they want. They're not, just because they're in adaptive camp doesn't mean that they cannot do anything less than any traditional campers. We make them equal, we make them supportive, and we want them to join. Like, we don't want them to feel like they're excluded. They're very, very good, and we have life skills. We do fun Fridays, we do s'mores, we do hot dogs, we do hamburgers, and the kids will help out. They clean up, they help put out the fire, we teach them fire safety. And like I said before, the majority of the staff at Mountain Mist are either, like previously said, are either paras, BTs, teachers, student teachers that are going to become teachers. We're all like, we all collaborate together. It's like a family. Mountain Mist is kind of like a family. Not kind of, it is a family. We are there to engage the kids, make them feel safe, comfortable, and have fun and get dirty. And you know, they might get like a scrape and they might hurt, but that's okay. But that's what being a child is. And we want them to feel like they're having a great summer and they're having fun. And if they cannot swim, it's okay because they can stay in the low end, but they can still cool off. And you can pack your lunch for your child or children, but we also offer hot lunch that is through the state and the District of Meriden. And also, there's no nuts allowed on campus. So if your child has a nut allergy, it's okay because no nuts are allowed at all. Also, if they're having a bad day, it's okay. They can go take a walk, they can go for a hike, they can go hike up the mountain with 2 other counselors. They have the means of taking a break and being relaxed and also having fun and being outside where they're not cooped up in a little like room. They're gonna play, get dirty, have fun, which every kid wants to do. They're not gonna drink from the hose though, but make sure that your kid brings lots of water. If your child has any allergies, we have a nurse on campus at all times. We have the meds all set up, all labeled, everything's all set, and they can go. We have the walkies, they can say, hey, John Doe needs his meds. Can you please bring him to the nurse? Sure, no thing. Go right there. But the parent or guardian has to physically drop off the medication labeled in the whole report from the doctor so they can lock it up so it's all safe and secured. So we have 5 sessions. 5 sessions. Each session is 2 weeks. I have all the start dates in the nice background that I did. So we can accept kids that are from K through 12 because even if they're 18, we can kind of accommodate them for a volunteer position, life skills, or make them like a CIT, which is a counselor in training. And then they can kind of work with us and understand what a job is and responsibilities, that making sure that like they're in line sight, that they're, you know, making sure that that kid is where he's supposed to be. So we kind of do life skills, just like Lorraine said. Then also, we do offer scholarships and we also offer the services from the state of Connecticut. And then if you have to be a member from the YMCA, but there's ways around it if you have services. Then also you can always contact Carolyn Daniels, and I put that in my slide. It's cdaniels@meridenymca.org. But the only thing is that every single child has to be potty trained because we don't have the facilities of being able to take off a diaper or, a depend. So they have to be potty trained. All employees are certified in CPR. We're all DCF mandated reporters. We're all are admin med certified, and we can administrate EpiPens because we all know that everyone's allergic to something nowadays. But that's okay. It's fine. No big deal. So then here's all the session. Camp is not closed on Juneteenth. We are open, and July 4th falls on a Saturday this year, so we're good with that. And we're all here to just have fun and find your fun, and they always find their fun. We paint rocks and we do so many things. It's unbelievable. It's just a great camp, and I can't tell you enough that your child will have like the most like fun experience and can adapt to other surroundings, and that's what we want. Just your child to be adaptive to other surroundings where they feel comfortable, where they're not afraid to talk to a new person or a new student in their school, where they're like, "Hi, I'm so and so." We also have kids that are nonverbal that use tablets, and it's okay. It's fine. We adapt to their needs, but we also adapt to their needs so they can be adaptive to other surroundings.
Thank you, Pamela. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. If anyone has a question, let me stop sharing and then go back here. Can you please put your information in the chat for
Absolutely.
the parents? Didn't see any more questions, but I want to share, the our website because
Lena, there was one question about what are the hours of the camp?
Oh, good, thank you.
For Mountain Mist, 8 to 9. So you can start dropping the kids off at 8:30 if you're going to do a drop off. Camp starts at 9, but then it ends at 3. But adaptive camp cannot do before or after camp. So normally parent drop off starts at about 8:15. So camp starts around 9:15, and it ends around 3:15. We want to get the buses out at 3:00. So, and then we have buses going from Wallingford, Meriden, and Cheshire. And that's no extra charge. There's no other fees.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let me share with all of you our website. Okay, then this is our website, the CTFSN website. Then what I want to share is just that we have in resources, we have the recreation and camp database, and then everyone can come here, scroll down. Then you guys can see that we have all the organizations that they had the camps. They are divided by town, region, program, is camp recreational or family. Then feel free to explore it here. If you give a click, then they open it up. We have all the information that you guys wanted to check it out. Then
Awesome.
This is our database. Yes. Then I hope all enjoyed, this. Let me stop sharing right now. Okay. Then I hope you join this workshop. Thank you so much for the four organizations.